Bitcoin's anything-goes nature has made it a target for hackers who have quickly learnt to steal the virtual money. But William Mook, an entrepreneur who tracks Bitcoin markets, says the actual damage is being exaggerated.
There was a loss of $12,500 just after Christmas from one individual. But in the United States, according to the FBI, there are 3 bank robberies a day, and they lose $7,500 each time. 3 times a day, 365 days a year, but people still use those banks.
But at least people with money in those banks do have a guarantee from that bank. Who guarantees my Bitcoins?
The numerical process guarantees your Bitcoins, and it can't be altered by politics, as the people in Cyprus found out. The Bitcoin is a prime number, a series of prime numbers. Basically, just like you can break eggs, and it's hard to put them back together, there are certain things you can do with numbers that are easy to do but hard to undo unless you know the secret. And those secrets involve special numbers. And so I can lock something away, send it to you, and nobody else can unlock it except you. And that's the basis of secret messages. It's also the basis of things that you cannot counterfeit. Just like you find gold in a sea of rock and dirt, you find these special numbers in a sea of very, very big numbers. There's only 2.1 quadrillion of those numbers that are special. About 1.1 quadrillion of these numbers, or 11 million Bitcoins, have already been found. Another 10 million will be found over the rest of history, and most of them will be found within the next 3 years.
Well, Bitcoin zoomed to a record price of $266 per unit this week until a flash crash saw it lose half its value, but it clawed its way back up within a few hours. The valuation roller coaster is earning the digital currency more and more attention in the financial headlines. Sarah Firth met a Bitcoin developer in London to find out whether it's still a good investment.
Well, now you've heard what Bitcoin is, why is it proving so popular? Industry insiders are dismissing this as a bubble, but right now they're having to dismiss Bitcoin as even more of a bubble, and that's because this week, for the first time, the controversial electronic currency passed the $200 mark, setting new records. So it is proving popular.
I don't think it will be widely used for a while yet, because until the interface becomes user-friendly. It's a bit like people think they have to understand it to be able to use it. But I say to people, look, do you understand how your body works and how money works? You can use your body and use money. With Bitcoin, you don't have to understand how to use it, but you do need an interface. And in order to understand money, we have a nice interface to use money. To use your body, we have a nice interface called our body. In terms of Bitcoin, we haven't yet got that interface up to that level of ease of use and understanding. And until that day comes, it won't be so widely available or easily used by people.
So Bitcoin's well and truly burst onto the mainstream now, trading up around the $200 mark, up from under just $20 at the beginning of the year. But is Bitcoin still a good investment now it is trading around that $200 mark? Well, many people think yes it is, and here's why. Let's take a look at the possible outcomes if you invested in Bitcoin right now. The bubble could burst, it could go from trading around $200 to zero, in which case you lose 100% of your money. Not good, but you do only lose 100% when it comes to Bitcoin. But what if Bitcoin rose to around $2,000 to start trading around that? Inconceivable, maybe. All the skeptics, all the critics right now will tell you that the bubble will burst, that won't happen. But ask yourself this, at the beginning of the year, when Bitcoin was trading around that $20 mark, did you really think that it could start trading around the $200 mark? So, on that basis that things can and do happen, if Bitcoin rose to start trading around $2,000 and you'd invested now when it was around $200, you would get 10 times your return. So if you lose 100%, but you win, and you win 1,000%. Now, to anyone, you can clearly see that that's quite a good bet, and it's why right now, along with all the global uncertainty with the big financial institutions, many people consider that you could do worse than bet on Bitcoin. Sarah Firth, RT, London.